D Rock here with another stream. It is Wednesday, July 20th, 10:22 a.m. Overall crypto market cap has been rallying a little bit. We're sitting right around $1.08 trillion. Not too much higher from where we were just 2-3 weeks ago, sitting right around $0.9 trillion. But as you can see, Bitcoin has gone on a rally, sitting right above $24,000. ETH is sitting just under 1,600, BNB right around $270, Cardano sitting above 50 cents again, Solana above $40. Overall, things are rallying quite a bit because Bitcoin is leading the charge. As you could see on the 1 hour chart, we did have some lows just about a week ago, sitting below $19,000. Since then, the bulls have been able to consistently rally and rally and rally time again, with some decent resistance from the bears right here, right around 20,500, and then again kind of like right around here around 22,500, 22,750, kind of as we approach 23,000. But bulls have put in a decent amount of work, and that is why we are sitting right around $24,000 for Bitcoin. Looking at the 1 minute chart, we can see that we've faced a little bit of resistance right here, topping out right around 22.5. We'll see if the bulls have it in them to bring it above that level, but again, time will tell. Could we be seeing the possibility of a bear flag of some sorts? We did have a bear flag form somewhere between the first week of May and like the second week of June, roughly, or the beginning of that second week. We saw a bear flag form, unfortunately. Could we see something similar? Maybe it's a longer forming bear flag. Maybe this bear flag takes another few weeks to play out. Maybe it's not going to play out here in the next week, but who knows? I think we're going to see a break down to the downside below 17,000 Bitcoin, probably here in the next few weeks, like 3 to 5 weeks. I don't think it's going to happen just now, but again, no one really knows what's going on besides the people who've been in the game for quite a while. They kind of are used to the volatility, but yeah, don't get shaken out. If we go to the downside quite a bit, just look at it as a opportunity to dollar cost average down and buy while things are uh, down and there's blood in the streets, as the saying goes. But don't get discouraged. Buying Bitcoin and ETH at these lower prices, long term, you're only going to benefit, and you're going to thank yourself, your younger self, a few years when the next Bitcoin halving comes and Bitcoin goes on a massive rally. That's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles with Bitcoin, and then everything else follows behind it. So look forward to that. It hurts temporarily, but a few years' time, it'll be all worth it. Just in Bitcoin network has transferred $17.78 trillion in 2022 already, smashing the record from 2021. So you can see back in 2021, for the full year, we had transacted roughly or transferred only $13.11 trillion. It's nothing to scoff at, but look, we're only, it's July 20th, you guys. We're not even through quarter 3, and we've already surpassed last year's transfers and dollar value. So that's pretty big. It's proving that Bitcoin can, withstand the massive amounts of money being transferred between users and different addresses and stuff like that. So very, very cool. Texas, Bitcoin mining has resumed after a week-long voluntary pause during heat wave. I was just down in Texas, actually. There was like brief little moments, kind of just like here, kind of around Chicago. The lights will flicker like very briefly, and it's just like showing you that the grid is not as on par with where it should be. It's it's just with all the AC units, all the electricity being used, the grid is basically strained, and that's why you have little brief moments like that. I know in certain parts of the world, like people are being told to have their AC unit at a certain temperature because it's less strain on the grid and stuff like that. So I don't know. But this is good to see that Bitcoin miners have resumed after a week long voluntary pause during the heat wave. Breaking over in France, French banking giant BNP Paribas will offer Bitcoin and other custody services. I'm sure it's not going to happen. Um, and then this guy says this is Europe's biggest bank. BNP Paribas is bullish. Um, I don't know. Make of that what you will. I think that's pretty bullish, but it is kind of concerning that a centralized entity like Europe's biggest bank is getting involved in crypto. I'm not against it entirely, but have to think long term here that may uh, pull some levers to get crypto to benefit them more, because they unfortunately are losing a lot of money and a lot of customers that are moving to crypto because the big banks don't offer very much to you and I via interest and stuff like that. They give us a tenth of a percent, and they're like, "Be happy." Meanwhile, every month they're raking in at least a few dollars from your account via fees and stuff like that. It's ridiculous, but yeah. Anyways, Justin in Singapore Central revealed plans for turning the country into Bitcoin and crypto hub next month. So Singapore looks like it's being situated to be a big crypto hub over in Asia. That'll be very, very cool. Samsung new Bitcoin mining chip will be 45% more power efficient and 23% more powerful. That's very good. Being power efficient is, I think, going to matter a lot moving forward because unfortunately, a lot of these ESG protocols and provisions are being implemented in places across the globe, and they want to crack down on carbon. I don't know. I'm not gonna really get into that, but no bueno if you ask me. Justin Celsius lawyers claim users gave up legal rights to their Bitcoin by using the platform. Again, take your Bitcoin off exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have your crypto on an exchange, you're running the chance that the exchange goes down at some point, like Voyager, Celsius, etc. And then you don't have access to the crypto that you have on there. So cold storage is very, very key nowadays. It's always been key, but people, myself included, are really, really learning the hard way right now. I've already mentioned I was able to take off some of my crypto from Voyager just before they closed the doors with withdrawals and stuff like that, and purchases, sells, all that stuff. Um, Luckily, I got some out, but I wish I had done that strategically across like all the platforms, like some from Celsius. I have everything that was on Celsius. I hadn't really touched very much. I moved a little bit of stuff around, but I didn't take very much off of there, so I'm a little bit salty about that. But anyways, just hanging this here, food for thought. Celsius Network wants to pay each employee an average of $30,000 a month after they file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Clown face emoji. This does not include director and officer payments, which is an additional $3 million. Clown face emoji after losing over $1 billion of our money. Estimated amount of weekly payroll payments to employees, not including officers, directors, and stockholders, 3,450,169. This is 13,800,676 per month, which is about 45,000 employees, or sorry, 450 employees, which then that's how we get that math at $30,000 per month per employee. Ridiculous. Like, how about you just give the people, the customers, like you and me, we need our money, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but some of you idiots, like the higher ups in these organizations, you guys just get so careless with money, and then at the end of the day, when you're hurting, you're like, oh well, everyone else can f off, you know, like they can afford the loss. I can't afford the loss, even though I have a few million like lying around somewhere. If I really wanted to get a hold of it, or I could like liquidate some of my assets, like they're such dicks, basically. Like, I hate this. Celsius team, we lost over $1 billion of your deposits. Also, Celsius team, please give us a $3 million bonus. Estimated amount of weekly payroll payments to officers, directors, and stockholders, $730,833, adding up to 2,923,332. I'm not that very good with pronouncing those bigger numbers, just FYI. So AOC faked being handcuffed to keep lying to women. Abortion is legal up until birth in New York, but your voters can't afford groceries and crime is out of control. Desperate isn't good look for you. So go back to your Insta makeup tutorials. You're actually good at those. So see, there are no handcuffs on her because there's actually video footage of her going like this. If she was handcuffed, she wouldn't be able to do this. Uh, they could have sold it a little better. It's pretty comical that, look at this. See, if she was handcuffed, she wouldn't be able to raise her hand. And then Ilhan Omar fake being handcuffed too. It's, I don't know. It's all theatrics, I guess, and just like this shows, the media can portray it looking like she's handcuffed. This guy's like not even looking at, like, he's looking this way. He's like, doesn't look like he has a very tight, grip on her. Not that he needs to, but it's just kind of comical. Like, they could have played it so much better. But anyways, people think solar panels protect the environment, but they require 300 times as much land as conventional energy sources. And now Los Angeles Times has discovered that they could contaminate groundwater with toxic heavy metals such as lead, selenium, and cadmium. I don't know. I'm not. I like the green tech, but I think we have a long ways before they're super efficient and we don't have issues like this with them. I think we're at least a decade or two away from that. So I don't think this is gonna go mainstream unless the ESG stuff pushes it through. But that's not I don't really have a say in that, unfortunately. Single person. Tens of thousands of old wind turbines could end up in landfills by the end of the decade. An estimated 40 million tons of wind power blade waste could end up in landfills by 2050. This is the diametric opposite of sustainable. I somewhat agree with this because also when these wind turbines are created, they actually destroy ecosystems between like birds and like different types of animals that are no longer found in that area because the blades are either killing them or during the construction of building the turbine itself. You had to displace animals and stuff and kill some. So I don't know. It's not as sustainable as they claim. One last thing before we go today
is your relationship with Bitcoin is not a liability. Okay. Your relationship with Bitcoin is not a proxy to some foundation, some team, some corporate structure, some development decision. In fact, the founder of Bitcoin, he, she, or they might be fucking dead. Mm-hmm. And it's working really well, Matt. That's what Sailor means when it's a property. There's no liability relationship. Like stable coins, there's a liability there. It doesn't mean stable coins are bad. Matt, I own a security. It's called strike stock. Securities aren't bad. Building liability relationships like Tesla stock's not bad, but there's a liability there with Elon and the company and their roadmap and their cash balance, right? And so like Proof of stake, your relationship with that asset's a liability. A stablecoin, your relationship with that's a liability. In theory, what you want is a monetary asset where there are no liability relationships. That's the whole point of the thing. That's what proof of work solved that. It was like an amazing innovation. Proof of stake, if proof of work is like, we finally got an airplane to fly. This is a quote of a friend of mine. Proof of stake is like, we know how to make it cheaper, faster, and less carbon efficient just by not flying. It's like, well, like that's not like a competitor. That's just a totally different product. So sorry, I got a little animated. That's good. But
I've never heard someone so eloquently kind of explain proof of stake and proof of work. And I like the way he phrased it. He kind of made it easy to understand. And if that's how proof of work and proof of stake works exactly, I'm not about proof of stake. I heard also like the more proof of stake is kind of like the more you own essentially like of the network, like whether it's like Ethereum miners or whatever, like contributing to the overall network, the more say you have in the direction of the network. So like you could theoretically have in a proof of stake network, you could have like 3 or 4 people basically control the direction of the Ethereum network. Like, and personally, I'm not about that. Like, I want it to be more decentralized than that. That's still too centralized. If only a few people can have a total say in how the network kind of moves into the future, I don't know. I'm not about it, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you're over on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified when we go live next. Going live tomorrow. Sorry, I've been out of town. I was visiting a buddy for his birthday out in Texas. Great time with some other friends. I'm glad I'm back though. Being out on the road in the heat, I was sleeping in a tent for a few nights in like 90-degree weather. It was not fun. Didn't get very much sleep. But it was a good trip nonetheless, and I'm glad to be back. So I'll be live tomorrow, 10:20 a.m. So I'll see you then. I got some links down below, so please check them out. Take care and invest wisely. Peace.